Now, again, another question from one of your listeners, and indeed people that you know, who has heard you say on a number of occasions, this is not unique to you, but has heard you say culture eats strategy for breakfast on multiple occasions. So I guess, again, as an executive coach, you witnessed how leaders try to define and shape culture or an operating culture. What has your advice been to those leaders on the subject of culture and building culture?
Yeah. Yeah, this I feel is my sort of facilitation aspect, but it's the work I've always called in to do, because I always feel very privileged to be any of those rooms I'm in, because it's full of super talented people, usually I would say far higher IQs than I would ever have, but usually somewhere the operating model or the operating rhythm and the culture is the thing we're looking at. First of all, for me, I always look at culture a bit like trying to hold the wind in your hands. Yep. Which is, and we've all experienced it. There's certain moments when we've got a team that's just aligned, it's just gone in the right direction, and everything's just flowing. We're in flow. We've seen it in sport, we've seen it in various other things. But the truth is we can't hold our hands forever. And then there's a dynamic, there's a change, and it changes. So for me, it's realizing it's a moving thing and it requires effort. I've never seen a culture that just sort of happens with no effort. Yep, it might look like, but just like any great performance. So creating a space where you empower and you have a collaborative space, I think is most important. But it's so easily lost then by leaders eroding trust. And I've seen this so often where leaders think, actually, do you know what? We've got this culture thing's nailed. We really have. I've experienced it myself. And then they start making assumptions. And then, I think the big one for me at the moment is what people are doing with coming back to work full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mandating of that is fraught with danger, because you're saying we don't trust you, and creating a sense of belonging and those sort of things. There are ways of doing this, but you tell people and show them you don't trust them, then your culture is going to be eroded. So, but I think culture starts with the leader. So knowing yourself first, what you stand for, and frankly what you stand against, I think is really important. You have to engage your leadership team, your exec team. It's their culture to live, to breathe, to take to their teams. So I think you have to frame it, and then let them decide what the operating model looks like and how they want to hold each other to account. Because when things are going great, culture's not a problem. Yep. It's when things don't work out and there's a problem, it's what do we do then? I call it MOTs, in a moment of truth. So, and also as a leader, how are you going to choose to lead authentically? And how will you call out poor behavior from your peers and above? Because if you look at, and there's numerous examples on governance, on poor behavior across from sporting bodies to lobbying bodies to all sorts of people at the moment, that to me is a cumulative effect of senior people and not so senior people speaking up in the moment or not speaking up in the moment. So culture starts with the leader, but ultimately it's created by the team.
Great. I'm writing myself a little note here. I like that. Starts with the leader, but created by the team.